Hello and welcome to this gameplay presentation of Digital Devil Saga 2. Just wanted to show a little bit of this game off because I love it so much. It's incredible. Oh, I even love it when stuff like that happens. So my guy automatically, which is normally a good thing, counterattacked with a physical attack, but that enemy has reflect physical, so all the damage was reflected right back at my character, and as you can see, he was dead. So I put up an anti-physical shield because this guy loves to use physical attacks, and boom, reflected back at him, but because he's got reflect, it downgrades to null, and nothing actually happens. But I still prefer that to how much damage he would have done without the shield. So this guy, let's take a look with the spyglass. It's an item you can use infinitely to analyze enemies. So he's got repel, physical, slash gun, null, expel, death, and ailments. So I can't use Tenerifu, I can't use poison rain, which sucks. I love those skills, but I can hit him with boring old elemental attacks. So let's hit him with a few of those, and he'll go down pretty quick. Bored guy. Of course he's frightened. Very smart. Now Mazio dying. It's actually pretty expensive with a spell these on one guy, but I've only got so many slots. I've got a passive that boosts electric damage. Didn't want to use up one of my 8 slots for Zio dying by itself and do no damage with Zio dying. Boom! Roasted. Now normally I would hunt this enemy. Hunt skills are unique abilities that enemies don't usually have resistance to in any way, and if you finish an enemy with a hunt ability, you get bonus experience. Let's see if I'll be able to hunt this character. It's kind of a bit more awkward because he tends to get frozen. I swear this guy was once intimidating because he nullifies literally every type of attack except the most Canadian element, ice. So as soon as you figure out he has a weakness to ice, yeah, he's in trouble. Oh yeah, I did get to eat him. And that new ability I just unlocked, it's a passive that restores half my MP every time I use a hunt ability to finish an enemy. So it's basically implied that you're just eating the enemy. So now I've got 2 Giri Makalas and a Mitra. So let's devour them and gain their essence to learn some skills faster. Basically, as you devour your enemies, you gain Atma points, which allow you to master mantras. Oh yeah, I ate all 3 of them at once. Love it. As you can see, the purple bar will increase a little bit. Yeah, a little bit more than usual there. So that's because of the successful hunt. Light blue numbers you saw a couple times were bonus MP. The bonus MP is just a passive that I grinded out. As you work through different mantras on this huge grid of hexagons, I believe they're hexagons. You select different mantras, you master them, and move on to the next hexagon on the grid. And all the different party members start at different parts of the grid. The cool thing is there's all these like mystery locked hexagons, and if you manage to master all of the hexagons around it, then you can unlock it. Sometimes it's a permanent stat boost for your party, sometimes it's unique, cool mantras. Okay, this time he's frozen solid. As you can see here, the hunt skill only does 2 damage to frozen enemies. I guess it makes sense, you can't eat a frozen enemy. But it's a critical hit. So it gives me a flashing press turn icon in the top right, which is otherwise known as an extra turn. Woo! And as is tradition with the end game of Atlus games, I'm stuck in a stupid warp maze. Let's see if I can figure out where I'm supposed to go here. Okay, I'm pretty sure this just took me back to literally where I just was, so that's not great. And another Arabahaki, they just don't learn their lesson. Ice. Boom. Ice, ice, baby. Freeze! Boom! Okay, he's getting frightened. Smart guy. Don't worry, it's all over now. There you go. Get in my belly. Nice. Ooh, he leveled up. What do we got? Ooh, great chakra. That's awesome. Heat coming in clutch. fantastic. I love his demon design and Seraph's demon design. The three I'm showing right now are just my favorite demon designs. I'm not a huge fan of Gale and Argila's. Probably some people will kill me for saying that, but I'm not a huge fan of their designs. I love their characters. I just don't like their demon designs. And here we got two Certs and a Gira McCullough. Cert is obviously weak to ice. So weak that he died in one hit. Wasn't expecting that. It's always sad when you accidentally kill an enemy and then you can't eat them. Boo-hoo. So I'm kind of being a bit more careful now. Let's see what we got. I don't think that'll finish him quite. The hunt skills don't do a ton of damage compared to like your physical attacks, I've noticed. But since no enemies have resistance to hunt skills, they're kind of like a safe bet if you want to soften an enemy up, at least. I can't use my poison rain skill. I got all these cool ailment skills, but like some of these enemies have resistances to ailments. Like Gary McCullough, Mr. Fat Elephant Man there, he's got resistance to poison. The Certs have resistance to panic, so I can't use Tenerifu on Cert. I can't use Poison Rain on Gary McCullough, but at least he is eaten all the same. Okay, so those exclamation points in the bottom right, that means I've tried both of those warps, and I'm not getting anywhere, so I'm finally realizing, hey, there's a door here. Then like, oh shoot, it's like a boss version of Arabahaki. This guy's gonna kick my ass. But no, he's just a standard Arabahaki, so he's gonna go down like a wimp in like 5 seconds, not even get to fight back, because I figured out his weakness. I swear at some point this guy was intimidating, but it does not look like it now. Pretty much all these enemies were brutal at first. Like, you gotta figure out like all the resistances at this point in the game, or you're screwed. So it's basically like memorizing like every single enemy in the entire dungeon, which some people don't like, but I'm a masochist, so I like that. And down it goes. At least he had his cool little soundtrack for the 5 seconds he was alive. And not bad. That's something about this game that drew me into it, was like the music is just insanely good. Like Shoji Majuro, oh my gosh, now I'm gonna die from fans for pronouncing it like that. Shoji Meguro is one of the best composers in video games in my opinion. Just incredible. Like, he absolutely nails the full theme and vibe of this game, where you're like playing as AI that turn into demons. It's so freaking cool. It's like perfect. And you can see this guy's electrocuted, so normally with most enemies I would go for a physical attack because you can get a critical while they're stunned like that. But Gira McCulloughs are totally immune to all physical attacks, so no point. Wasn't expecting Tenerifu to completely destroy those guys. But at least I got to eat Mitra. And this is the first time Palace Athena, I believe her name is, has shown up in this video. And she's not a threat nowadays, but holy crap. The only reason she's not a threat is because I grinded the heck out of null ailments. So I got a passive on that big grid I was talking about earlier of all the mantras that allows me to nullify all... Actually, it doesn't nullify all ailments because there's so many ailments in this game, but it nullifies a lot of the most common ailments. So if an enemy ever tries to use any ailment ability on me, it won't work now, which is pretty amazing. Like, you become so godlike by the end of this game if you want to. So now these enemies, they used to use a lure, which is a skill that hits my entire party and is very likely to charm at least one of them. And then, you know, when an enemy is charmed, when your ally is charmed, then they're attacking your own guys. So not only wasting their turns, they're also being counterproductive. So, yeah, charm is not fun as an ailment, unless it's your enemy that's suffering from it, of course. And now they're both eaten. Oof, with that frame drop, it looks like my system's having the opposite issue of those poor Habakis. You know, I'm happy, I'm thankful that I can still play this game. You know, it's 20 years old. I just pray that Atlus will remaster or even remake this game for modern systems. That'd be amazing. The game absolutely deserves it. I'm using Argilla as my healer. I haven't really grinded any mantras with her, I've been bothered. She has a mantra that keeps her in pace level-wise with my other characters. So she's like the same level as everybody else, but I haven't really grinded any mantras, so she doesn't have any really good skills. Now I got another pack of 2 Gear McCullochs and a Mitra. I can hit them with lightning because they don't have any resistance to that element. Well, Mitra is strong against normal elements, so next turn I'm going to hit him with something he's actually weak against ailments. It's, what's it called? Panic. See, he didn't take as much damage. Oh my gosh, the Rumor Colors went down one turn. That's crazy. That means I need to move on from these enemies as soon as I figure out this teleport maze. Which hopefully won't take too long. Probably will. I love how his head does full 360s. Like this Arabahaki guy, he just keeps trying, but it's just... He's just become a beating, like a punching bag. I feel sorry for him. Just keeps getting eaten over and over again. And restoring my MP, which I appreciate. Woo! Level up! Ciel again. Vitality, magic, and luck. Well, that pretty much finishes it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.